Hi guys, Anime Gypsy here with Boruto episode 27 review. Now, first things first, we get a new intro and ending, and I have to say, they sound amazing. The intro is kind of jazzy, which I think is interesting. It's kind of childish, which I don't like, but you know, what you gonna do? Alright. This particular episode could be split up to about six separate scenes. Um, Excluding the pre-intro scene, which technically means there are seven. So seven scenes. The first scene is before the intro, and what you have is Boruto basically saying, "Hey, we don't need to tell the Mizukage anything. We'll just settle this ourselves," which is dumbassery to the highest extent because you are basically risking an international incident because you are representatives of a different country. You are the son of a very, very well established heroic figure and leader in a village, and you're putting yourself in a compromising position in foreign land. I mean, I'm an IR major, and this is straight up asking for international conflict right there, you know. Um, and that aside, after this scene and the intro. By the way, the intro did have something interesting. I've been saying that the cat girl and the dynamite girl are going to be important characters in the series, and a lot of people down in the comments are like, no, 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 they're just side characters. You won't hear of them ever again. No, they're not even in the manga. And I've been saying there's so many ties between the filler episodes in the well, I don't consider them filler, but the filler episodes in the anime and the manga chapters. The filler episodes in the anime basically tell us that the Otsutsuki clan has more members than just Momoshiki and that goon he had. I keep forgetting his name. We now know that there is an entire civilization, well, clan of people in outer space in that series that we haven't been introduced to yet due to the material that is solely anime. We get to find out that Torine is going to play an important role in the manga because of the anime. I mean, I could go on and on and on about the ties that are there, guys, that tell us that this material is canon. This material is essential for the progression of the story. And this intro proves this even more because you have two girls that are until now, anime only. Uh, Nimida Suzumen, which is the cat girl, and Wasabi Izuno, which is the dynamite girl. And we get their full name tags and everything. We get everything. Um, oh, and we also get Kagura in the intro, and that's nice, you know. And by the way, Kagura is going to be an important character, not just because of the intro. Well, the in the previous episode, you have him being mentioned as a potential candidate for a future Mizukage and a current member of the Seven Ninja Swordsmen. I mean, this is a big character. We're gonna get to see him later on in the manga. I mean, it's blatantly obvious, guys. So that aside, let's continue to the scene after the intro. So scene number two, because the first scene was the pre-intro scene. So scene number two is the gang, and when I say the gang, I'm talking about Boruto and his friends, along with Kagura, versus I keep forgetting this guy's name. You know, the fodder character, the one with the goons that Shizuma is just controlling at this point. What was his name? God damn it. Hichiya is his name. So Hichiya and that particular group fight up against, you know, Boruto and his group. And what you end up happening is a obvious mismatch. And I've been saying that there was a problem with that particular group going to fight against, you know, the Hachiya group. And what I said last time was that this group that Boruto is in is too overpowered. Mitsuki is able to achieve Sage Mode at an astonishing level. He's practically high tier Jonin. You have uh, you have Kagura, a member of the Seven Ninja Swordsmen of the Mist, who basically is high tier Jonin, borderline Kage at this point. Um, those alone could take down the group by themselves. That was blatantly obvious, and that's what happened. The group was demolished. Well, not by those two alone, by everyone. Granted, Kagura held back, and I'm sure Mitsuki held back because he's not going to use Sage Mode on fodder characters. No, you don't get to see Naruto using a tailed beast bomb against Kiba in a fight. It's just not how it works. So to say that we've seen the character's full potential just because of the fight we've seen so far is just no. Um, so after the obvious, in the midst of this obvious mismatch, we get the revelation that everyone predicted that Kagura is the grandson of Yagura, and that was blatantly obvious because he's just a taller version. He's Yagura on stilts. I mean that's the reality of the design. Design committee was very lazy. They woke up one morning and was like, oh, we need to design the new seven swordsmen of the mist. Okay, what do we do? Oh, we already have a design for Kaguya. Let's make him taller and change that tattoo design on his cheek. Yeah, that will definitely work. And that's what they did. No, I mean, haven't seen much of Kagura to judge him as a character yet. But from what I've seen, I think he has potential persona-wise as a character, as opposed to strength-wise, which we know he's up there alongside the other Jonin in the series. Now, after this, we get this whole scene of the gang going back to the hotel, and after that fight, and basically Boruto is confronts Kagura and's like, "Did you really kill your friends?" And Kagura's like, "Yes." "Are you really Yagura's grandson?" And Kagura's like, "Yes." And then I'm gonna come back to that thing in scene 6, because well, actually no, scene 5. Okay, so after the scene, we move to the treaty with Mei, Mizukage Mei, who, in my perspectives, will always be leagues and bounds above Chojuro. I haven't seen Chojuro fight that much, obviously, like everyone else, but, Mei is Mei, and she's able to use 3 Kekkei Genkai, so, what's a measly little sword going to do against that? I'm just saying. We have Mei discussing the parameters of an issue regarding a peace treaty that's being held. So basically, a little recap here. The hidden villages are under the command of the daimyos of the particular land they are located in. So that means that the hidden mist village is under the control of the daimyo of water. Now, the problem is the daimyo of water refuses to sign a peace treaty, that binds him peacefully to the land of fire, the land of earth, and so on, so on, so on. And the reason for that is due to his just basically due to geoeconomics, they profit through conflict. And, you produce much, you could trade with other people, the market booms, that particular type of thing. Even though I don't think they need it because the market's already doing well, but, that aside, that particular scene was interesting because we get to see dialogue with Anko, and I know I'm a diehard Anko fan, by the way, so, just judge me, I don't care. So we get to see dialogue with Anko and Mei, and that's interesting because Anko isn't the negotiation type of person from what we've seen. She is calm and she could talk, yes. We've seen that in the decisions that she had to make when she was in charge of the Kabuto unit. But we never get to see her as the negotiator, so that's interesting characterization for her, or character development. I don't know if she's done that before. And Shino is the calm type, so he'd be good at it, so obviously he was sent there. I didn't know the teachers were there to talk about peace negotiations as well, but the interests of the Naruto world, pretty fascinating. Now, whether this will lead to a conflict in the manga or anime later on in terms of a war between the Mist, I don't think so. But I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, because you need a lot more material between the manga and the anime if the manga is going to be a monthly manga and not a weekly manga. And even if it's going to be like a small war that probably will last like 8-10 episodes and just disappear afterwards, and everything will be fine and everyone will be friends because this is a shonen, that type of deal. So after this particular instance, that particular treaty, we go back to the gang, back to them, and now they're playing cards. And Denki's pretty good at playing cards, and he's winning. And Yagura's pissed off, but he's out of the. Basically, what ends up happening is the guys get his mind off what he did, and he calms down and simmers down, and then he gets to explaining. He gets to explaining his past and his connection with Yagura yet again, and this is where I'm going to talk about Yagura. Okay, Yagura. I don't know if a lot of people underestimate this guy. Yagura was such an overpowered character that the Akatsuki needed to send Pain and Obito, as well as Conan, to defeat him. It says something when you need you need two Kage level characters and one Jonin level character to take someone down. This is by all means high tier Kage level of skill. And yes, some people attribute that to being able to control a tailed beast, but guys, remember, in order to do that, you need to beat a tailed beast internally first, and then build positive conflict with the tailed beast. But we know that doesn't happen. So, actually, no, we do know that happens because he's able to control the three tails. Now, with Yagura himself, it's really interesting because he always refers to what's going on with him as a problem with Yagura's blood. This line gets thrown out all the time. Yagura's blood this, Yagura's blood that. I drew my sword, and the next thing I knew, Kagura's blood took over. But this is the thing. Yagura's blood took over, sorry. This is the thing. Yagura isn't a swordsman, so the problem Kagura has isn't related to his bloodline. In fact, I've called Yagura a walking plot hole, which he is, but I like his character. In terms of persona, he's a decent character, even though we haven't seen much of him. The quotes in the Ninja Storm game, one of his quotes is just, "The burdens you and I bear are completely different." That was a good quote. I think he started as a kid. As a kid, he became a Jinchuriki and became so powerful that he was labeled a Kage. Take this for granted. It's hard for someone in a village to become accepted as a Jinchuriki, let alone become a Kage. So this is astounding. This is a character that was able to do this, just like Naruto and Gaara. This is something people overlook with Yagura. And this brings me to my next point. From what we've seen of Yagura, Yagura isn't that bad a guy. He's just been manipulated by Obito after getting his butt handed to him by Pain and Obito and Conan. And then he was placed under some sort of weird genjutsu after that incident that lasted for years. But the parameters and lack of that itself is a plot hole. Along with, just watch my previous review, my other video. It explains a lot about the plot hole nature of this. But I wouldn't be surprised, basically, if Yagura gets a little redemption episode scene thing where Naruto's like, "Hey, Kagura, listen. He wasn't that bad a guy, okay? There was this annoying guy called Obito who all the fans liked that manipulated him and turned him into a human weapon." I wouldn't be surprised if something like this happened, where Naruto explains to Kagura that Yagura is not that bad because, they knew each other. Naruto and Yagura knew each other, so, And I think he was the Mizukage during the initial Zabuza arc, the initial Zabuza arc, basically. I think he was the Mizukage at that point as well. But that aside, it's interesting because Yagura is not a swordsman. He wielded this weird staff thing that helped him manipulate water, but that was it. He had no connection with sword and blood. Maybe he also suffered with some sort of mental illness, like dual personality or something. but who knows, you know? And that's what Kagura has now. Um, but yeah, basically, who knows at this point? Um, so, speaking of that, afterwards, Boruto, after Kagura says that I killed my best friend, yada 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 yada, because I wasn't able to control myself, and this is all the fault of Yagura's blood. And Boruto basically says, "Hey, what your father or grandfather does is none of your business. You are your own man," and that makes everyone better. Naruto would have straight up told Kagura to his face if that was Naruto and not Boruto. If that was like little Naruto and not Boruto, little Naruto would have told Kagura to his face, "Hey, stop playing the victim and do something about it." Because that was Naruto when he was a kid. He was the type of guy that's like, okay, fight it. Do something about it. Don't just complain. And, you know, that's a distinct thing to keep in mind about the difference between Naruto and Boruto. They both had different struggles. Obviously, Boruto's struggle is definitely minute compared to Naruto's struggle. Naruto's struggle was, yeah, complete alienation from everyone. That was, ooh, I mean, yeah, no. So basically, after Boruto bolsters Kagura's resolve and makes Kagura feel a lot better, Kagura goes up to Chojuro and says, "I'm ready to take the Hiramikari test. I'm ready to become a member of the Ninja Swordsmen." And this is where we end, and the ending was nice. And after the ending in the sneak peek, no, actually, no, this was before the sneak peek. Before the sneak peek, we get in the final scene, the seventh scene, we get Shizuma basically. At first, he was just tormenting Hachiya, you know, for failing to fight an entire group with his group, you know. I thought he was just tormenting me, you know. And it turned to murder, just like this. The guy literally slipped his throat. I mean, no, I mean, that was interesting coming from a shonen. I never saw this coming for a shonen. You know, I didn't expect a shonen to. I had the perspective that Boruto was, you know, a family show, but I think I was wrong. I think they looked at the the list of viewers that they had and the statistics of age and stuff like that, and are like, oh, not that many kids watch it. Okay, what the heck? We'll just have this scene. Who knows? I liked it though. It was pretty nice. It was an intense series. It was an intense scene for a good series. Now, after the ending, we get a sneak peek, and this is where I complain. Uh, Looks like we're gonna skip chakra nature training for all the members of the new Team 7. I mean, Mitsuki straight up knows how to use wind style at this point. Sarada is shotting on up the wazoo, and chakra control up the wazoo, able to summon superhuman strength. And Mitsuki and Boruto now. Boruto, he's able to use lightning style in the next episode. I don't think he ever trained to use it. Now he's just picking it up, and he did use wind style a bit, but I just thought that's because, you know, it's just one chakra nature, and some people do pick up one chakra nature like this, like members of the Uchiha clan picking up fire style like this, like Sasuke did without doing chakra nature training. That's what I thought it was. But no, apparently he's gonna pick up multiple chakra natures just like this, just by watching. I mean, it's almost like Boruto has the Sharingan and not Sarada. That's what it's like. It's like Boruto is the one with the Sharingan, and he's the one that's seeing people do stuff, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna copy that. I'm gonna do that in my next fight. Yeah. Uh, no, pace yourself, guys. This is too much too early. It really is. All right. Ah. Yeah. So that gave me a headache. Yeah. So if you guys liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. If you didn't, just comment down below why you didn't. Please don't be an ass and comment something like "but" or "I hate you" or "go to hell" or something like that. Please don't. You know, this isn't like a reverse psychology thing, but I think it's kind of becoming a reverse psychology thing. I'll just shut up now and continue with my dialogue. Okay, so if you liked the video, just subscribe and like. If you didn't, comment why down below. And until next time, this is Anime Gypsy, and I'm out.